All I gotta say is that boy got stretchy pants.
Yeah.
That boy got stretchy pants.
No, that's not how.
I know that's
You
not, but I
gotta.
like I like to keep it going. Okay,
It's okay.
I
We'll
like the
get it together
stretchy
next
pants
time.
part. Can I not like the stretchy pants part?
If you gonna sing it, especially the Charlie Murphy, you gotta sing it right.
But
First
I
name
love the
Charlie,
stretchy.
last name Wilson.
You got it. Come on now. Come on. Not that Charlie Murphy.
Why we always have to say that every time we end? Like you have to say
You
it.
have to say it. You have to say it.
I'm sure he's tired of hearing that too.
Where is my number?
I bet you don't. He like, yeah, I said that.
I'm about to say, homeboy give dollars off to get royalties.
In real life, that would never work.
No,
He is not complaining.
Like,
So
dog,
you
how,
can get in contact with me.
nah, cause he's just like, how desperate are you?
bruh.
That's fair. There's a right approach.
Oh,
Shawty watch you, it's
flip
not gonna matter.
flip your mic. For that too.
Or homeboy, whatever your preference is.
He ain't got no
That
power.
way.
There you go.
I can't do it for you. My left hand ain't that.
I'm not saying you grown, bruh. You got gray in your beard. Pop the mic on.
Hey
You
man,
grown.
There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. It slipped.
What? Don't judge wisdom. Don't judge wisdom.
You see how I have my right arm?
hey
my
man.
mic on right. You feel me?
No,
Wisdom?
no.
He
Distinguished.
said he ain't there yet.
I ain't there yet.
You're not wise yet?
No, I ain't wise. I just been through a lot.
My
I'm trying to
bad.
tell you.
You trying to take my mic off.
Dude.
I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm 26.
Alright. What up? What?
26.
Up? Welcome into Outspoken Network. Say what you mean.
I was bald at 26 too.
Mean what you say. As always, I am Cordell.
Marcus.
Introduce yourself. What's wrong with you? This is E-Rob. I'm Duece.
I keep saying it, man. I swear.
And we are back.
When are we gonna get rid of him like we discussed?
It's crazy. Not we. Not we.
I'm unbothered. I know that these narratives do not ring true.
I'm
My
glad
place,
you know that.
My place is secure right here on this couch.
Secure?
Yeah.
Secure. I pay bills here, motherfucker. Watch it.
All right. And with that being said, let's talk about teams who ain't got security right now, that don't have a secure spot. Let's talk about teams of concern. Another week in, and another loss for all three of these
You can lead us off.
individuals.
Go ahead. We don't even got it. He already know where we're going. Go ahead. Lead us off. Let's talk about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Let him know about Joe Burrow. Sorry, go ahead. You get you off. I'm sorry. My bad. I gotta say that.
Another loss for all three of these teams. When we're talking Ravens, talking Bengals, and we're talking 49ers.
Why are the Ravens in the
Perennial
category with them?
teams. These. Oh, you have no concerns for the Ravens?
I wouldn't put them in the same category as the 49ers and the Bengals. They're completely different problems.
No, they are, but these are teams that we have concerns with. They are not all the same concern, but these are teams of concern that are of topic today.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think
I wouldn't lump the Ravens in.
No, they're concerned. This is based off of the expectations that all three had coming into
this season, right? Follow that,
But the drop off for the Ravens and the 49ers and the Bengals
is deeper.
It's deeper,
yes.
Like non-playoffs versus still contending.
Agreed.
For sure.
I didn't like the framing. Go ahead.
Hey, he's so protective. You a Ravens fan?
No,
It's the DMV thing. It's a DMV in them. That's what it is.
Baltimore ain't even DMV.
Baltimore ain't even been good to you. You driving through Maryland.
Taking out animals left and right.
I was not in Baltimore when that happened.
I'm just
I was
saying.
in Darlington, Maryland. Shout out to my Darlington
man.
folk. Y'all
Only
did
8 of them.
well.
Taking out
Only
baby's
8
dad. Huh?
There aren't much more.
No, Baby's dad took him out.
Absolutely, and
There's a
walked
baby-
right off. It was a lady deer.
There's a baby deer
I didn't
right
know
now.
that if he didn't see it for real.
Don't listen to them.
There's a baby deer.
I hit a deer on my way home from Maryland. The deer rolled
It was
and
a
walked
mother.
off.
It was a mother.
She was fine.
A mother of 4.
My car was not.
All
Anywho,
right. So the
speaking
Ravens.
of car wrecks, the Bengals. Talk about them.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna start with the Ravens, but all right.
Best
start with the Ravens.
Best team for last. Best team for last.
Okay.
Get the Bengals out the way.
Bengals.
They're not making it to playoffs. It's kind of Joe Burrow's fault, but I guess not really. Go ahead.
Well,
I'll tell you where I'm coming
go
from.
ahead.
2 years in a row, man.
So
2 years. All right.
Yeah,
I
I
picked the
guess you don't
Bengals
go.
to win the AFC 2 years in a row, and they look like this. I'm hurt.
You need to stop picking them.
I believed in Joe Burrow, and it's
You know what's crazy that?
I picked the Bengals Niners as my Super Bowl the last 2 years.
Oh, I forgot that part. feel like it's wild because it would have been less crazy for you to say that the Commanders go to the Super Bowl than the Bengals. But sitting here or there.
You see how you just
5 minutes.
just-
We not even 5 minutes in.
We not.
Told y'all.
And you just gonna bring the Commanders up.
Jeez.
We were gonna talk about them anyway. But
Oh my God.
So
Cordell and I were talking about it yesterday.
Oh, is that a sign that you shouldn't pick him no more?
I mean, there can't be one that's more plain.
Oh,
But
so
Joe Burrow.
so
in
I
the-
should, so
in
I
the
said
fourth
I should
quarter.
pick the Commanders more now since
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
I need
so-
a team
Yeah,
to lean
all
on.
right, go
all
ahead.
right, this is my thought
I don't- you
process.
haven't
I'm
earned that.
reeling this in.
You have to
With
too
the
late.
Bengals, because everybody's gonna say, "Oh, it's not Burrow's fault. Look at Burrow's numbers, yada yada yada." Cool. Nobody's sitting here and saying that he can't put up numbers. But what I told this to Eric. I was like, it's coming off more along the lines of empty stats because these stats aren't resulting to wins. But my whole issue with Burrow specifically isn't that he's not good, because he is, but I think situational football, he has not been the best. That is where I'm like, all right, like 3 quarters, you're doing great, but there are certain times in situational football where it's like you have a fumble or an untimely this. That's where I'm like, and now they win by 10, and it's 2 turnovers by you that they got 10 points off of. That's where my issue with Burrow is. I think he still deserves respect as a quarterback.
Right.
I just am like, this year is not your best year when it comes to situational football.
There are certain times you can look at the numbers. He doesn't have a ton of turnovers, but man, are his turnovers coming in the worst
Awkward
time
time, yeah.
possible.
Because he only has like 8,
He
I
only-
think, on
right.
the year.
Yeah, you
Right.
only-
And
yeah.
they're either being taken the opposite way for scores, or they're leading to teams putting the game away. Like it's just like the Ravens,
Or tying the game with you.
or tying the game,
So that we can put it away later.
Right. The Ravens game, I can't. You know,
Mhm.
I can't. They had an opportunity to win that, and his turnover late. I think he only had one turnover that entire game.
Right.
The first matchup?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
first
first
one,
one.
right.
And it's like
That turnover led to the field goal that tied it to go to
that
OT.
the overtime that
that
could have
brought
put this
them
game
lost.
away. And won.
Right.
But it's just, and he's numbers wise, honestly, he's having a really good year.
He's
but
top
it's
in
the-
everything.
but it's the
Yeah.
optics of what you're seeing within the game, and it's just not their year, man. It really isn't.
Even big picture about his brand, when we look at the Bengals and the allure that they have because they have been the only team to knock off Mahomes aside from Brady in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow in the fourth quarter hasn't had any touchdowns. He hasn't been the one putting the team on the back and leading them down the field and going to score and taking the leads and such, from Cordell and I's research the other day, which surprised me because the way that we speak on him, it would be
What did
like
you say? I'm sorry. I was responding to a comment.
Burrow's no fourth quarter touchdowns in the
Playoffs?
Yes.
In the
With it-
playoffs.
in the
Okay,
playoffs.
'cause I'm about to say,
Okay, I was
thinking-
I
was
thought
talking
you
big
were
picture.
talking regular season.
No, we're just
No,
talking throughout
I'm
his
talking big
career. He
picture.
has never thrown a touchdown in the playoffs.
You would
in the
think
fourth quarter.
the way
which is
that
kinda crazy.
we speak on him that wouldn't be the case. That he's the savior, that he's the one who's putting his team in a position to succeed. He got the ball in his hands. He's a killer when it comes down to it. And it feeds into the same thing of having turnovers in inopportune times.
Right.
I think that the turnovers that he has had, like they didn't, not all of them directly led to them losing the game. Like they still had opportunities. Let's just say Chiefs game, for instance. He had a turnover, the fumble that led to a touchdown that
Mhm.
put the Chiefs back into the game.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, they were winning the game at the end, and it took the defensive pass interference
Mhm.
in order for the Chiefs to win that game, right? So it's just like, oh yeah, like he had the fumble against the Chiefs, but that's not the reason why they lost. It definitely helped the Chiefs get back in the game, but it's not the reason. And then you look at the game against the Commanders, where it's just like y'all have that touchdown at the end of the game, and then they don't have enough to get that last minute touchdown at the end of that. It's like, okay, cool.
Hold on. We had a lead the whole second half.
No, but
And that
that's
touchdown
what
put
I'm
us up
saying.
by, it was a 2-possession game. It wasn't even like he was going to get an opportunity to go and score. But I see what you're saying. Go ahead.
Like, yeah, they scored a touchdown to make it a 1-possession game, and then if things went right, they could have gotten the ball back, but
And with your Chiefs point, that was a whole 7 points. Was that a fumble recovery for
it
a
was
touchdown?
fumble recovery. for a
Yeah,
touchdown.
that's I don't know. Like of course, it's not the reason that one
No,
loses,
like-
but that doesn't help when you
It
give
doesn't.
when you give your defense like
It doesn't.
The defense 7 points,
especially when
like
you're.
I get that. All I'm saying,
and that's on him.
all I'm saying is that part is on him. But I also say like if the defense would have made that stop on 4th and 16, none of us would have said anything about that.
Right. But again, when you're Joe Burrow, you have the most impact on your wins and your losses. Right. Clearly, your defense is not up to par. Right. Your defense is not going to get you what you need. Joe Burrow should be the one getting you what you need.
It goes along with the point that was made about a lot of empty stats in the fourth quarter because we can point out a multitude of games this year where they're having to make a comeback late and he's probably throwing the ball 40, 50 times trying to bring the team back. But like you stated, the turnovers, the fumble recovery for a touchdown, he had that one yesterday. They were already down 2 scores. They were already down 34-24, had a fumble that put the Steelers up 17 with 10 minutes left. Like the game wasn't over then, but it really felt like that was the nail in the coffin at that point. And it's just
that was so tough.
So
because he's trying to throw it, and it's like okay, yeah, like okay, like what I'll say is this:
not feeling the pressure.
No. Well, that's what I'm saying. It was one of those 1, 2, 3. I'm throwing. It's just the defender literally got there at 3 when he's going to throw. I think the thing is like I think Joe Burrow's turnovers have been heavy, right? At not the best times, right?
It's heavy on your boy.
But I think that the one thing about his turnovers that are different than some other quarterbacks' turnovers are the fact that because his defense is so bad, like those turnovers just get more and more costly because they have to score on so many more possessions than other teams do to where you're like, dog, man, that turnover was costly. Well, shoot, if they weren't in that position where the other team already had 30-something points, maybe it wouldn't have felt as costly. But because because it's always a shootout, then, but that's just one of the things that
he has to be perfect.
That's the situation that he's in. And I think that, the Bengals have the most 30-point losses in NFL history in one season already.
You still have a month
and they
left
still have a month left. Like that's crazy that they've had all these 30-point games that they've lost. So
my thought, first of all, with the turnover where he's going for the throw 1, 2. To me, when I was telling this to Eric, I said you have to already know pre-snap that there's going to be a free blitzer. There needs to be either you're audibling out of that play, you're audible into something better, into a better situation. If either
he just got past the tackle, like it was.
But if you know, but my thing is, if you know you're getting a lot of pressure, either we're changing into something where I can get the ball out even quicker, or we're audibling into a run against the blitz. Whatever we're doing, but we need to have some sort of play installed for dealing with that type of pressure, because the amount of pressure that they brought, you should be able to get somebody over.
That play came on a 3rd and 8, so I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh was sending
they're sending
but the guy that got to him went around past the tackle. The tackle could not touch him somehow, some way, and got to him on his 3-step drop. It wasn't something like you said, it's a 3rd and 8. So he did a 3-step drop. By the time he's going to throw it, the guy hits it. So it's like when you look at the play, I'm saying it happens. Like that's just one of those plays that it's like
but you have to set yourself up. So you can get the ball out even faster depending on the play. You see it all the time.
I'm about to say.
Like literally everyone's at the line of scrimmage.
But if it's 3rd and 8, you can't just do a 1-step drop.
It's an easy hot read, right? You're making a hot read before the snap.
You're trying to get it to the sticks.
Let me say this.
If you're trying to get it to the sticks, right? You can't just say I'm gonna do a 1 drop and throw it to the sticks.
Yeah, he's in the shotgun.
Oh,
yes. And if it's 1, 2,
there's 7 guys at the line of scrimmage,
and he'll have a running back next to him either. It's just him back.
Like I feel like in that manner, if I'm coming to the line of scrimmage, it's 3rd and 8. It's obviously there's 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. I'm making a hot read. I'm not completing
okay. So
I'm not doing anything that's requiring me to drop back.
It's a 3-step drop.
That's a long time.
1, 2, 3. No, it's not. But that took like 1 second, bro.
This defense?
That took like one, like
that
come on,
for
bro.
a hot read that took like a while. Like if you already in the shotgun, 1-2, pow. Like you know what it is.
Against this defense.
That's not what he did.
Not what he
No.
did.
I thought you would have got that jump.
Hold on, think about it. 1, 2, 3, bang, and he's going set to throw it.
No, it wasn't a 1-2-3 fire. You're making it seem like it was a 1-2 and he planted on that third foot and he sat on the third foot, then he gathered.
He gathered himself.
It was a gathering.
Because here
It was a hitch.
he's trying to hit his
It was a
running back.
hitch.
He's trying to hit
Yeah,
his running
he's
back.
trying to hit someone at the 6. It's 3rd and 8.
No, it was short of the sticks. He's trying to hit that guy right there. He's trying to hit Chase Brown, who's short of the sticks.
So, anyways,
He's waiting for Chase to turn around.
that was one thing. My next issue, and I mean, you're gonna be mad at me when I say this. I'm sorry. I do not think that Burrow is in the same tier as Lamar Allen and Mahomes.
He's behind him.
He's in
On the
a
list.
tier below.
No.
And this is, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've seen Lamar have to carry his team by himself to the playoffs. I've seen Mahomes have to carry his team by himself to the playoffs. I have seen Allen have to carry his team to the playoffs by himself when the defense was littered with injuries.
No. But like this
So
is
you-
what no.
so
Hold on.
you-
I am sitting
Hold
here
on.
and I'm
No.
I got it.
So
So you're needing this man to take a team to the playoffs without Chase and without Higgins, basically, right? That's what you want to see. That's going to convince you.
No, I'm saying everybody's saying that is because they don't have a good enough defense. I would have expected if you're in that same tier to still be able to get. You may not get anywhere once you get, but I expect you to get to the playoffs.
But the Bills
I
have
have
never had a
seen-
bad defense.
The Bills were littered with injuries all over it.
Little with injuries, and yet you
Does that not make it bad?
no, because you guys weren't a bad defense.
Not when your backups are still playing well.
like your defense is based off a
Your-
scheme.
your-
It's not about the
backups
players.
are playing better than their starters.
That's what
right
I'm
now on
saying.
defense.
Like I don't want to hear that. Like for you to say,
Like,
I
come
think
on.
for you to say that Josh
Like, come on.
has
Josh
single,
okay, fine.
wait.
Go ahead.
To say that Josh has carried a team, I would say this year without the offensive pieces.
Okay,
Sure.
What do you this year? We can use
No,
it
no,
either way.
That
But I have seen them carry a team with
But-
deficiencies. I have not seen him do that. It has always been complimentary. And
no,
when?
dude, when they went to the Super Bowl,
Complimentary.
Hold on.
For sure.
How?
But if-
Hey,
has
hold
it-
on. His defense
has
was
it-
bad in the regular
wait,
season,
but has
and in
it
the
not-
playoffs
has
they
it
were
not-
better.
has it
So
not-
if you want to say complimentary in the playoffs,
Has it not
cool.
been
But in the regular season, they were not great.
as great? Hold on, as great as Mahomes has been, could you say that's been complimentary as well? Like he's
No. Not
he's had Travis Kelce's entire career.
They didn't. I saw him get to the AFC Championship with Swiss cheese on the defensive side of the ball.
But he had a future Hall of
complimentary.
Fame tight end.
Complimentary is what I'm saying with him is. But if the defense ain't working for Burrow, then Burrow can't carry the team. If the defense ain't working for Mahomes, Mahomes still carried that team to the AFC Championship with Swiss cheese.
But that's the thing that I don't understand
Oh,
is their
that's the defense.
Their defense wasn't that good when they went to the playoffs those back-to-back years. They were great in the playoffs.
They played well
But-
late in the year.
But
when they
I'm
need
saying,
to.
like, in totality, they were not this great defense.
No,
So
no.
I
I
don't
didn't
see
say
how-
great, but he needs complimentary. He clearly needs it. He cannot carry.
I
it.
don't understand.
He can't carry
I
the
don't
load by
understand.
himself. He's not carrying any team.
It felt like
So what has Josh carried with no great defense? Like the Bills' defense has been top 10. No, because he's just talking about defense.
No,
okay.
That's
So
what you
remember the
said.
one game where Tua beat Josh Allen. The defense that they had out there had no
That's
Milano.
for
It was
one
no. But these people was out for a while.
And they lost by
They
two.
were still
didn't they?
All the players
Tre'Davious
were
was still
not
out.
for a while.
And they lost by two.
Tre'Davious was out. Not Teron. Both your safeties
They
was
lost
out.
by two.
Hyde and
And they
I
lost
was
by
out
two.
for the year.
They lost by two.
No, but he's saying that
Bills lost
all
by
those
two.
guys
The
were
Bills only
gone.
lost
I'm
by
like,
two.
they were not gone
mention,
for a long
not
time.
to mention, correct me if I'm wrong, not to mention the Bills lost by two in that game, but they also had the ball last.
Yes, Josh Allen missed the.
So they had an opportunity to win.
Josh Allen missed the throw to win the game.
Yeah,
again.
they
He
had an
threw-
opportunity
he
to
had no
win,
throw.
even with those guys being off the field. Like he had an opportunity to win. The thing is with Joe, like I see your point, but I don't think I agree with it all the way because I feel like when you say carry,
I know
a
you
team,
don't because you think he's number 2 in the league.
when you say carry a team,
Which is
I
crazy to me.
you
feel-
still think number
He
two?
thinks Burrow's number 2.
I don't think so right now.
No.
But
There's no right now.
No. To begin the season, that's what he's talking about. To begin the season, I said Mahomes 1, Burrow 2 because he had been to the Super Bowl.
That's all he cared about.
And the other 2,
not how he got there, why he was there. It was just he got there.
When I say
so Goff should be ahead of Josh Allen too.
So beat Josh Allen in the playoffs.
But when I hear carry a team, I'm thinking the entire roster.
Use your eyeballs. Watch the game. You can look at Lamar and Josh and be like, oh, these guys are better than
we're
Joe.
talking about.
But when we're
talent-wise, yes.
But when we're talking about
production-wise too. You a numbers guy. You look at the numbers. Josh Allen led the league in touchdowns last year. Did he not?
Yeah, but Joe Burrow had more yards than him.
Anyway,
yards?
I guess our definition.
You said look at the numbers.
I guess our definition.
Yards are empty stat. We know.
Always about touchdowns.
Dak Prescott has led the league in passing
Most
yards.
of his touchdowns were
What are you talking about?
Inside the 5-yard line.
You go get. What are you talking about now again?
Nah, because he's talking about leading in touchdowns. But I'm like, most of Josh.
So he's taking his offense down and scoring, and you mad because they're close touchdowns? You want Jamar to catch screens.
That's what I said.
Take him 80 yards. That makes it better.
Still has 40. He's the only quarterback to go 3 years in a row with 40 touchdowns.
Bro, I said his rushing touchdowns. I said Joe Burrow has more passing touchdowns, but I said you have more total touchdowns because you have most of your rushing touchdowns inside the 5-yard line.
Is that a bad thing?
Which we looked up. Well, and then people
they're not push touchdowns.
Yes, they were.
No, they're not. Stop that.
Bro, we
Josh
looked at it last
Josh
year.
choked that thing.
When
Jalen is pushed.
Okay.
He gonna ride on Burrow being number 2.
I guess I need to determine.
Because Goff should be number 3 then, because he got to the Super Bowl.
Jesus.
Goff is number 5.
I guess.
Go ahead.
I guess the definition of carrying a team needs to be clarified here a little bit because when I hear that, I'm thinking the entire roster. I'm not thinking you have a loaded offense, but you have a defense that's below average and you're carrying a team. Like, to me, I don't think that's really carrying a team. Like, I'm saying if you're carrying a team, everything's below average but you, or everything is average but you. So when you say a guy like, you've seen it from Mahomes, I'm like, he's played with a future Hall of Famer.
No, that is accurate.
He's had at his disposal.
I just didn't think that a defense, like, to me, the way that you talk about Burrow, I don't think that having a bad defense means that you can't get to the playoffs. If you can't get to the playoffs because your defense and your situational football.
So what's the biggest?
reasoning?
What's the biggest reasoning that they're out of the playoff picture right now?
Wait,
to me, it was his situational football.
It has nothing to do with the defense.
It's there. It's absolutely there.
No, but I'm saying that should be the main priority.
Right, but I would expect you to be able to overcome that to at least get to the playoffs. But your situational football has also been to the detriment of why you're not in the playoffs.
Real quick, Queese. I feel like whatever definition you just laid out, I don't think any quarterback fits that mold then if that's the case. So the closest we might have is Jaden Daniels, if that's the case. The drop off from him to Mariota.
Or CJ Stroud last year.
But even
they didn't have the
getting added defense rookie of the year. Derek Stingley still.
Don't you have a future Hall of Famer on defense that you've been bragging about all offseason?
I was saying the closest comp. Of course,
that's the first
the
one
who had 13 straight
no one's
100
done
tackles.
in NFL history but Jaden Daniels.
I'm saying to fit your definition of what you're talking about with the talent that we're working with.
Dan Marino is a definition. That's carrying a team.
Okay.
Can you name a Hall of Fame receiver you ever played with?
Honestly, you can even say Jordan Love of last year.
That's carrying a team.
Last year, but what weapons did they really have?
I'm not kidding. Jordan Love didn't carry. I felt like.
Oh, wow.
So his receivers are all scrubs?
It's not scrubs.
No, they have no number ones. At running back, you didn't think like Aaron Jones is a top running back in the league. He's fine, but like I'm saying, like there was no.
He was a top 10.
Huh?
At floor.
Aaron Jones wasn't top 10. You guys didn't think?
He
thought he was.
He's fringe.
I don't think he's fringe. He's
fringe.
good like 7. I would say like 7, 8. He's not fringe.
Okay.
I didn't know there was an argument about Aaron Jones.
His defense was boo-boo, and yet
the defense was boo-boo?
No, the Packers' defense was actually boo-boo last year.
Middle of the pack defense?
That's what I was saying. Like
the
back half of the year?
Like I felt like
it's a reason why they fired their DC.
They made a few plays here and there lately.
Yeah, but they were never. But
I ain't gonna say boo-boo.
Their defense still has
in terms of statistics, they would always say that they're
the same. Go again with your statistics.
Hold on.
It's the same. It's the same defense.
This is why
they just added McKinney.
I thought that.
That's it.
I thought they had a middle-of-the-pack offense.
It's the same defense.
And a middle-of-the-pack defense. That's what I saw them. Middle-of-the-pack offense. I didn't think anybody was carrying anybody. I thought they were just both middle-of-the-pack and they were good enough to get to the playoffs.
Last year, they just added Xavier.
You think that Jordan Love carried them to the playoffs?
Yeah.
I think he was a significant reason why.
I think he carried.
Harry is
Yeah,
right. Like I don't feel like he put the team on his back and said,
because you
"I'm
say
knocking down all these doors and I'm gonna get you there." Like Jordan Love has not shown me that he has that ability right now, as far as I'm concerned.
their defense only allowed over 22 points
This year.
I'm talking about last year when you said the defense was
He's
boo
going
boo.
back to that.
Oh,
Like 22 points after week 9 once,
all right. Let me.
twice.
What's up?
Let's get to the Ravens.
Oh yes. In terms of Lamar, he has looked better than he has. I don't like that his MVP credentials are compared to last year's MVP credentials when it was an underwhelming production wise MVP season for a quarterback, for one. But when you look at the touchdowns and the production that he's had and how his turnovers have looked, and they're not really his fault, you have to look a little deeper into why Lamar is the problem for the Ravens. We know Lamar is a weapon. We've seen his pitfalls in the playoffs. We understand what they need to do to get over that hump. I'm trying to figure out, at least watching this season, what that could look like going forward. Because the same issue yesterday that happened in the playoffs with not giving Derrick Henry the ball, you're down 2 points in the fourth quarter, and it felt like Lamar was just flinging that thing. Go ahead, hand the ball to Derrick Henry. I feel like that will be more of the issue. Play calling again, same OC, same issue that could have popped up in the playoffs rather than the issue being Lamar. Very roundabout way of saying that, but I feel like it's going to be the play caller if the Ravens are going to be in the same spot that they.
I just want to know what defense or who is this defense stopping in the postseason? That's what I want to know.
Oh no, they're not.
Like,
they're not going nowhere in the playoffs.
They're
That's
going to
how
have
I
some
feel.
issues.
Oh,
They're going to have some issues in the postseason.
I wasn't even getting there, but yeah, no, they're not.
I think their defense has gotten better
That's what they say.
No.
in the past few weeks.
That's exactly what they say. In the last 2 weeks, they have played in the last 2 weeks. The last 2 games. That's what you're talking about. They've played better.
They haven't been getting gashed.
They in the last 2 weeks. I mean,
finally
the Chargers put up 23 on them.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then in the Steelers game, it
was all field goals.
It was all field goals. So Steelers, Chargers, and
then like the thing about it though is I feel like with the Ravens, do I see them as Super Bowl contenders? No, I do not. But to say I think they could be a team that they either win a playoff game or they get to the championship game, and it would basically be because the offense did enough and then their defense was just solid. But I think that with the Ravens, and this is the thing that gets them in trouble, is the fact that they think that they use Lamar too much in the passing game. I'm like, why are we trying to throw the ball 40 times at Lamar Jackson? Like, he's just not that type of guy. Like, you can be an elite player without being the elite passer to know that, bro, he's got to throw it 40 times. What bothers me is to win a game.
What bothers me is that when we saw that from them in the postseason, the same play caller is in the booth now. Like Monk and you had a playoff game where you did this, where you went against the grain. It didn't work. And you're doing that again this year. Yeah. When you have a better option than you had last year at running back. And you're still trying to throw the ball 40 times a game.
And I also
all sides over 1,400 yards rushing this year.
Yes.
But I also do think that it's also on Lamar partly.
Could be.
Because I think that he does get tight in certain games.
Yes.
Big games.
And no, I'm not gonna say big games. Because
it's in big games. He's not tight in looser games.
No.
Unless you're saying he got tight against the Raiders.
What I'm saying is, if you talk about big games, he has won and done splendid in plenty of big games.
I didn't say he. First of all, I never said he did not. But if there was a game that he gets tight in, I would assume it's the big games. That's when you get tight in, right?
That's any quarterback.
Necessarily.
No. Hold on.
Some quarterbacks play loose.
No. Because if you want to say,
I'm not saying anything negative about it.
No, but
what say the Bills game was a big game this year?
against
when they beat y'all 35-10?
you just because you get tight don't mean you lose or you play bad, but you can be more stressed. That's what I thought we were going with it.
No.
I was just trying to compliment you. I wasn't trying to argue with you.
No, because like when you say tight, you mean to me.
That's what I thought.
To me,
like
I'm
you're
thinking
forcing it a little because it's a big game. Like that's what I.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think.
what I thought we were going with
that's
it.
no. I mean, if that's your definition, then
like Josh does that in big games where he'll force.
That's what I'm saying. I think any quarterback would do that in big games. Like any quarterback has done that in big games where they just like get tight and miss certain throws they're not used to missing.
Except Jaden, right?
Like,
the only quarterback in the league.
All right, let's.
But
I think that it's like he needs to use his legs more because there's definitely times where we see the lanes for him to run, and he's just like, I want to throw. And that to me, I think that he's in his head way more of thinking that I need to be this thrower of the football all the time. I'm like, no, like you have literally one of the best mobile quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. Use your legs,
bro.
man.
Just run.
Like, because it just makes it easier to get the first down and just keep the chains moving rather than trying to get all these explosive plays through the air.
There were a few times when he kind of sort of went out of hand with it, but
like, hold on.
But I'm saying like when Michael Vick was my quarterback, like he make one read and just look, he ain't there. I'm running. I'm not reading the second or third thing.
But see,
I don't need to see Lamar do that, but it's the willingness to understand, like, hey, my legs are a true asset to this offense.
Yes, because Lamar will try and look for his third option before trying to run. And I'm just like,
you don't have to be a pocket passer.
Like, please.
You don't have to be a pocket passer. If the lanes are there, if the play is there for you to make with your legs, take it.
It's like 2nd and 7. If you can pick up 4-5 yards,
just do it. Now, I'm not saying they need to design 20 runs for him to get him incorporated. No. I'm just saying
when the pass isn't there.
When the pass isn't there and it's obvious. Like,
so for me, I would want him to go through all his reads. I'm
designed a play for you to.
I'm going through all of my reads, and if I go through all my reads or pressure starts coming about, like at that point, I don't need you to. At that point in my head, I'm like, no, Lamar, you don't need to scramble to throw. If there's a lane, go. That's where I'm with you. Like, there are certain people who extend the play to try and throw it still. I'm like, you don't need to extend the play to throw it. Just extend the play and be gone.
Do you feel that way with Josh?
Yeah.
So
I really do.
Josh make all his reads before he takes off.
Right.
Every single time.
Yes.
Nah.
That's how I feel. But because when the pressure, but there are times where the pressure comes right and he escapes to his right and he's still looking downfield and I'm like, bro, 5 yards is right there. Go get the 5. And that's what I agree with you.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah.
But if you're in the pocket and it's not like there's pressure coming to you, bro, if you don't go through your reads,
I'll be honest.
But that's different.
Honest.
That's different.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, when Jalen Carter is in the middle and he's getting pressure, when you're going up against TJ, you don't have a whole lot of time.
So when those happen,
to make all the reads.
I'm with you. Honestly, when those things happen, I'm with you.
That's why he's bad against the Steelers. It's because he keeps trying to stay in the pocket, making all these reads instead of just running. And they just bottle him up. And they know how to play him.
They know how to play him.
Well, it's a little different when they.
Yeah, that's what they know how to play.
There is nowhere for him to run.
They know
exactly. That's what I'm saying. They contain it, right?
Right. So what is he gonna do then?
Because
how can you use
no.
But if
you can
that's play calling.
No, if you can.
Oh yeah, that
if
is
you
play
contain
calling.
the outside,
huh?
If you contain the outside, he can run inside.
No.
Yes, he can.
No, that's not how they're pressuring him. You can't run to the outside. If you run inside, our 2 guys are right here.
You see,
like
the Steelers.
The Steelers have it. There is no lane.
It's coming everywhere, though.
I
just showed you an example.
Yeah, you know, you're right.
Right. So
in those,
they are very disciplined with their rush to get you. They're literally just shrinking the pocket on you. So there is nowhere for him to run in those situations. He's got to be a pocket passer. They are forcing him to be a pocket passer.
But that's the thing. They're keeping him in the pocket for 4 quarters, and that's how the Steelers have been dominant over the Ravens.
And so for me, again, with Lamar,
what's the Ravens' ceiling?
Divisional round.
Yeah, I think it's AFC Championship, but
divisional round.
Divisional round.
If the Bills especially get the 1 seed, divisional round.
Who needs the 1 seed more, Buffalo or Baltimore?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the Chiefs. That's crazy.
Well,
the Baltimore
came.
Baltimore ain't gonna get it.
So there's no like.
The Chiefs have one loss. They got 5. That means the Chiefs would have to lose out, and the Ravens win out.
And because wait, hold on. How many games left?
5.
5?
Yeah.
5 games. So yeah, the
5
Chiefs
if you haven't had a bye.
But the Chiefs still have some. They have some tests along the way.
So yeah, the Chiefs would have to
but
lose
we talking
out
about
in order for
losing
them
out.
to get it.
They ain't losing out.
Yeah, because they would have to go. The Chiefs would have to finish with 6 losses because they have the tiebreaker already over Baltimore from the win head to head. So they would have to lose out all of them.
Where Lamar didn't make the proper throws.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and again, Lamar was missing a lot of wide open people.
Man, see how that tiebreaker comes back into play?
It does.
Yeah.
Because they have no shot at
you would have hit Zay Flowers on that touchdown.
I mean,
they still would have been down.
Even
He
more
still
likely
would have been down, but you
Oh,
would
you're
have.
talking about,
But you still would have had the tiebreaker if you won that game, because I think that touchdown would have sent it to overtime. But if you would have won that game, you'd have had the tiebreaker over the Chiefs right now.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I feel like the way the record is, it wouldn't. The Chiefs ain't losing this many games.
no, you got to think about it. The Chiefs would have 2 losses, and the Ravens would have 4.
The Chiefs aren't losing.
The Chiefs would be the 2 seed.
I'm saying the Chiefs aren't
I'll
losing.
tell you that.
Yeah, the Chiefs aren't losing that many games.
They might.
Now that tiebreak over the Bills,
they might lose,
but that's not even gonna matter because
I don't know,
the
man.
Bills aren't losing.
I don't know. The Chiefs might lose
5 games.
a couple more before the season over with.
I'm hoping.
The Chiefs might lose a couple more before the season over with. They still got to go to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, Pittsburgh gotta be worried.
They gotta go to the Broncos too.
They still got to go to Denver too.
Yeah, I ain't worried about Denver.
Bro,
They worry.
They should.
No, because I think Denver is just heartbroken that they didn't win the first time. I don't know.
Why would they still be heartbroken?
You don't think Sean Payton is going to say we're going to get this get back?
Oh, for sure, but do I think they're gonna get it? No.
I mean, haven't they won?
They wouldn't be favored.
Haven't they won like 2 of the last 3?
So look. So the Chiefs.
This could be in Kansas City.
No, the season finale is in Denver. They already won in Kansas City.
I thought they was.
Listen,
They was in Denver the
Chiefs,
first
right?
time.
I got it. I got the schedule right now.
Yeah.
So look, their next game is Sunday night against the Chargers, divisional game. I'm going to be worried.
That could go either way. The
up-
Chargers typically play them well.
You have the Texans, you have the Steelers, and you have the Broncos. It's at
in
Pitt,
Denver.
and it's at Broncos.
Oh, okay.
Like those are not really
So-
gimmies.
I'm sitting here.
No, I'm saying they're gimmies. I'm just favoring the Chiefs.
Who know what Cleveland gonna look like too, middle December?
Cleveland's a wild card. They just there. Wherever the wind blows.
I do.
You catch them on a snow day.
It may be tonight, but I just feel like Cleveland's going to mess up some playoff plans for a couple.
That's what I'm like. Yeah, Cleveland just gonna be out here. Jameis out here playing free.
It could be
having
tonight.
a ball. He blessed. What a time to be.
Yeah, it could be tonight. They did make it hard for Pittsburgh to get home field advantage when they beat them last week. Like I think it pretty much just took that off the table. They needed to win out, or they needed to get some more wins and have some help. But I think that loss in Cleveland pretty much took them out of that.
So all right,
How so?
I'm talking about for home field.
Yeah, I'm about to say they don't have home field in the first round.
who?
No, in the AFC.
Who?
The number 1.
Who?
Oh, you're talking about the number 1. Okay.
It took it completely off the
Yeah,
table.
he's talking about for Pittsburgh.
Losing at Cleveland took that off the table for Pittsburgh all the way.
Well,
8-4, right?
Well, no, they're 9-3.
9-3.
Yeah, but
It's not off the table.
it's not on the table. If the Chiefs lose,
I don't think they're gonna.
if the Chiefs lose and they also lose to the Steelers,
They're not gonna get you.
like they could.
Well, if the Chiefs would have to lose 2 more games, and then we got to see what tiebreakers.
Yeah, but the Steelers would be one of those.
Oh, if they beat, if they
If
lose
they-
2 and one of them is to the Steelers,
And then the
That is-
and if
They
the
need
Bills,
them. Yeah.
yeah, if the Bills lose one.
I think.
And
you're
now that-
talking about to get to the 1 seed. I thought you were.
Yeah, we're
Chiefs.
trying to get to the 1 seed. So I'm like, if they lose one, and the Chiefs lose 2, and they're one of those ones, the Steelers could definitely get the 1 seed.
We'll see. I don't think so. But
I mean, yeah, it's
The
a
Steelers-
long shot.
it is.
That's a long shot.
Those are the only 3 teams that could get the 1 seed.
I want to touch base back on the Steelers in a second, but my last team of concern, 49ers, real quick.
Oh Jesus.
Let's go through it. To me,
Man, just
this
injuries.
is
Hey man, look.
the problem for me. Starts at the general manager ownership position.
Hey man, look. This is a burning house right now. Okay, you need to grab whatever you can and get out because this is ugly. This is going from being a Super Bowl contender to I don't know what this team gonna look like in 6 months. I have no clue.
So
Yeah.
trade everybody.
And not everybody,
No, not
but
everybody.
they're
You
gonna
keep
have to
it.
shed some weight.
I thought that they.
You have no choice but to keep Ayuk. of course.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Okay.
I would
Ayuk
have
and
traded.
Trent.
You're probably
Debo
forced to
or
still
Ayuk.
keep Nick
Mhm.
and Trent, but you probably gonna have to move on from Debo. There's a decent chance you're gonna have to move on from
Kittle?
No,
I feel like you can't lose Kittle.
nah. It's going to be Greenlaw is going to be part of that.
he's definitely probably gonna be out.
Debo's going to be part of that.
Yes.
McCaffrey possibly, depending on how
Possibly.
this injury is.
Yeah.
He don't have any guaranteed money after 2025.
Who do you, a lot of guys on the defense are not going to be retained.
Hufanga. That's another guy.
So yeah.
It's not going to be the same team next year.
I'm trading all of these guys, and you're not gonna like it.
Oh, you trading Brock?
I'm trading Brock.
How are you gonna trade Brock? Who gonna take him?
I would want to trade Brock. I'm trying to get to a top 5 pick. I'm trying to get it upgrade at my quarterback position as far as ceiling.
Okay, how you gonna get that with a top 5 pick?
What do you mean?
Okay, like let me rephrase that. Like, who would you get?
He's stripping everything.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm stripping. Yeah, if I'm gonna start over,
I
I'm
had the
stripping.
same
No, because
philosophy for the Cowboys. I thought that they should have got rid of McCarthy and Dak after the end of last season.
Yes,
for the same reason.
Names. He said everybody.
No. I said the names you guys brought up, and that you're saying that we gotta move on from.
Okay, who are you not getting rid of?
Yeah,
That's the better
honestly-
question.
Oh, I thought you guys already named them.
No,
So
but
I'm
you
just trying to
mentioned you
move
would
on.
trade everybody. So
I'm trading the. So Ayuk, like we said,
you're trading Ayuk.
No, he said you
Oh.
can't. Yeah. So he said basically he was just like Trent and Ayuk keeping, Kittle keeping, probably Fred Warner keeping, but Debo, McCaffrey,
I'm
all
trying
those other
to
guys,
trade
like,
these guys
n-
off.
No, but most of those guys are just not going to be resigned.
Oh, their contracts are up.
Yes.
Okay, so then
So the only 2 guys you could really trade are Debo, McCaffrey, and but Greenlaw's contract.
Debo got
is
one
just
more
up.
year.
Okay,
I thought Debo was done.
So I'm looking
Debo
looking
has
at trading
another year.
them plus Brock
But see, here's
to try and get a top 5 pick.
Here's the problem. One is
I don't think you can get a top 5 pick for them.
I don't
No,
think
because me trading you guys away, I'm trying to those acquisitions that I'm getting. If I'm getting draft
one
picks
of them
back,
is a 20.
I'm trying to take that to get up to 5.
One of them is a 28-year-old receiver that looks 38 at times on the field.
Debo also has an out after this season. Go ahead.
There's no need to trade him.
He has
no.
Choose what you can get in return
I'm
for
gonna say,
Debo. Like as much as I like Debo
has
Debo has an out.
I'm trying to figure that out.
No. Debo has one more year after this year.
But I think
so they can trade him, and there's no guaranteed money on that deal.
He would be unrestricted by 2026, but he has an out after this
I'll
season.
be honest. I think he's considered damaged goods at this point. I don't know what you can really get back for Debo.
You can probably get a 4th, 5th.
Yeah,
probably something like that.
Because
you got to take the money with it too.
I guess
so like
that's the thing.
5th for him.
Now
trading get a 3rd.
Trading McCaffrey as grand as that sounds, it's going to be hard to move him, honestly, because of the injury purpose alone. Because he already had an Achilles, a questionable Achilles coming into this season.
I thought that was his calf. Am I tripping?
No, that was
tendonitis or whatever. His calf, right?
It was an Achilles.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now
it went from calf to Achilles.
Yeah, and then now it's the knee thing. So it's like, bro, what value does he really have right
Todd
now?
Gurley.
You're not gonna get a whole lot
in that direction.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I don't really see how they can get a top 5 pick trading those guys, because I don't think a lot of teams are going to put a lot of draft capital into those guys.
I thought you were saying to trade them away to lose to get the first pick from just being bad.
No,
I know you're saying trade them and get a top 5 pick.
The trade deadline's over.
Well, yeah, but the teams
in the
teams that I would consider,
I'm trading them away to get acquisition capital to move up to get to the 5th.
But the teams that I would consider, that would trade for those guys are the ones that are drafting in the back half of the rounds. Like you would need
like more win now.
Like it's more like I don't see a team that's a non-contender that's going to shoot for those guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like for you to trade Brock,
a team that's
I don't think that there's a quarterback that you'd be able to move up and get.
Because how much do you think Brock would go for? Because Brock is a key component here.
What do you if you trade a first, if you trade your first, the 49ers trade their first and Brock, how far are they gonna move? If the 49ers stay at like,
first and
if they win between 7 and 9 games, the 49ers, if they even get that many games, they would end up like 12 to 18.
Here's the problem that we're running into. I think a large contingent of the league looks at Brock Purdy as more of a system guy. So that automatically disqualifies him for a number of teams because it's like he doesn't fit
our system.
But that doesn't. That's not what a lot of GMs would also think. Maybe they could be like, I can plug him into this system.
No, they think of him that they.
So,
I mean, the term. Okay, they think of him the same way that teams thought of Jimmy Garoppolo. Like you knew Garoppolo,
a better Garoppolo.
Like you knew that the best of Garoppolo was under Shanahan, and that's all you're really going to see. Like his ceiling was there. So you never really considered him as like, man, we should pull the trigger for a guy like that. Like he's a system. He fits.
Yeah, I don't think he's a guy where you would say a team that's in the top would be like, yeah, I'd rather have Brock and have to pay him rather than starting over and getting a guy like Shador or Cam Moore.
I don't think a team will look at it and say, man, my offense is elevated now because we traded for Brock Purdy.
If you're the Jets, if you're the Jets,
no.
The Jets have the 6th pick now.
No.
Both quarterbacks will likely be gone.
No.
Cam and Shador will both be gone by the 6th pick.
No.
Do you trade back, get the 1st and Brock to move back to like 13, 14?
If you're going to be that aggressive to go trade for a guy like Brock Purdy, you need to be that aggressive to go up in the draft and get.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you. If you're right, I'm looking at the draft order right now, so we can have real term. Okay, so right now they're at 15.
14.
You have them at 14? NFL's
14.
got them at 15. Whichever way. 15 or 14.
It's all projected.
There's 49ers, right? Yeah. They're right there. I'm looking at if I trade Purdy in my first, can I get to 8?
There's not another thing before you get started.
To Tennessee. If I to Tennessee.
Hold
Purdy in my first.
Before you get started.
Would that be enticing for Titans?
We've already looked over. There's not a ton of teams in the top 12 that actually need quarterbacks.
I know. The Titans are one.
He's talking about Titans. Which they might.
Purdy and a first, and I'll get your Titans.
But how do you get your quarterback?
I just need to get in range.
Have the Titans given up on Will Levis?
8, putting me at 8, I'm in shooting distance range now.
Hold on. No, but you just said you'd give up a first.
I give up my first
and Purdy
to move up to 8.
So then how are you going to move up even more than that?
I'm in strike range now. I need to move up 3 picks. Now I can have a conversation with those top 5 teams.
For how many? But for what?
I got future capital, do I not?
No, but they need something for this year.
Wait.
Oh, before you even go, I got a question that said the Titans still going to win the AFC South. Go ahead.
Yo, stop playing, man.
What's funny about that is I didn't pick them to win the South.
No, you had them get into the playoffs.
Thank you. So text that person that back.
Okay.
Whoever that is.
Oh, it was Mike.
So the thing, you're basically just swapping first. That's all you're doing.
Yes, I know. And getting rid of Purdy.
And you think the Titans are going to fall back 6 spots in the draft?
And you get Purdy, and you still have a first,
and you still.
It's a great deal.
You're not getting anything. Like, what else do you have? You're not getting. Bro, no.
What do you mean?
No, because he's saying that he's going to move up to 8 and then try and go from 8 to move up even more.
If I'm Tennessee, I have
Purdy ain't enough for me to fall out of the top 10.
I mean, it depends on where you're drafted.
So now I have the number 15 in Purdy. Like I feel like that's a
no. I'm not falling back 7 spots, and all you giving me is a.
I don't think it works.
An undrafted quarterback. No,
I'm giving you my for Tennessee.
No, I want more. You're trading it to the top 10. I have. If I'm Tennessee,
but now you
okay, hold on. But if I'm Tennessee, right? If I'm Tennessee, this is how you guys got to think this way. If I know that you want a quarterback badly, and you want to get aggressive in the draft to do it, you have to give me more than that. I'm not falling back 6 spots, and all you're giving me is just one guy.
You're getting a first-round talent still. You're getting 2 players. You're still getting a first-round talent and Purdy versus just getting a first-round talent.
I'm falling out of the top 10 where I have an opportunity to possibly.
What did y'all trade to get to 8?
We swap a number? We swapped a number of picks, did we?
Trade to get the.
No, we already had. No,
you had 8.
Yes.
Okay. Never mind. Keep going. Hold on.
We already had 8.
My bad. Go ahead.
My thing is like if I'm in the top 10 in this particular draft, I'm wanting more to fall out of the top 10.
To be fair,
more than just Brock.
Remember when the Texans
traded
up to get into the top 3, and they traded.
Yeah. What did the Texans trade up to go back up and get Will Anderson?
They traded like their first of this year,
They traded like 3 or 4 picks.
and they traded the first of next year and a second.
Yeah.
But that's just picks. If I'm putting Purdy in there, that
I mean, it depends on how much
Nah,
Purdy is worth.
Purdy's worth 8 picks. I'm thinking. So, all right, hold on.
Wait, what?
Let him rephrase what he's about to say.
Yeah,
15 to jump
spots.
8 spots.
Oh,
Because I'm like, you said 8 picks,
Bro, I was like, 8 spots.
No,
I'm sorry.
they
8 spots.
yeah.
Chris Olave. The Saints traded up with the Redskins at the time. Oh, it was Commanders. Whatever. Traded up 5 spots from 16 to 11. So not the same, but 16 to 11, and we got 16, 98, and 120
It's going to take
for
more
11.
than just a swap of picks.
I feel you. So from 14 to 7, given this is a potential baseline, if you're just throwing Purdy in there, and if you want to be extra and you want like a third from next year or some shit, like
I feel like I can get to 8, and once I'm at 8, I'm within reach now of getting into the top 5 on draft.
But
you was crowning Purdy last year.
I
Took him to the
was,
Super
but you
Bowl.
also have to
Mr. Relevant.
but you also have
He's
to
not worth
consider
8 spots.
But you also have to consider whether or not Tennessee sees him in that same value. And I say because he's such a system quarterback, not every team in the
Are
league
you looking at it
can
from
run the-
Tennessee, or are you just looking at it in general from moving
Yes,
up?
because I have
Which part?
yes, I'm looking at it from Tennessee. I'm the team with the higher.
I'm talking Tennessee. I'm just talking about in general moving up.
You need both teams to
I was looking at the Jets.
realistically, but the Jets aren't trading. Wow.
Jets have no asset.
Why would I do that?
Jets.
I'm saying if you're the Jets right now have pick 7.
What are you trading?
If you're trading,
What am I the 49ers? What do I have to offer you?
just if we're talking about the first round pick and Brock Purdy to trade up.
Absolutely
Why would the
not.
Jets want that?
From Rodgers.
You could be.
This is what I see.
I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to retire.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
Hold on.
but he
Wait.
said he
Hold
wants
on.
to
Hold on.
There's too many what ifs.
Hold on,
now.
If
He
I
said
have
he wants to play.
if
That was
I have
that was his standpoint at the
if
beginning of the
I'm
year.
at 7 and I have and I wait if I have 7
You
and
felt a little
I
wishy-washy.
and I have an opportunity to get a Shador or Cam, you want me to fall back 7 spots and all you giving me is Brock Purdy?
You keep assuming that they can go up and get them from these teams.
If you can, I feel like you have a better shot going from 7 to 1. Like it, no, but
It depends on what you got.
But to me, that's worth the aggressiveness.
I mean,
It's
basically,
gonna cost you a lot.
well, hold on.
I'd rather do that than to fall back and just get a jersey.
But that's what. Think about what the Panthers traded to go from 10 to 1.
Yeah,
Look at that.
like they gave
Pull that
away
up.
what DJ Moore, like
DJ,
like 3
they
or 4
gave up
picks?
DJ Moore a first, and then the next year's first and like a third.
Just to go get a guy that they thought was their guy. Like I'd rather be that aggressive.
And DJ Moore at the time was their best offensive piece. So
I'd rather
like,
be
they would
that
have to-
aggressive than for me to sit here and say, all right,
And he was a young guy.
I'll fall
so
back
obviously,
7
like,
spots and take a guy that I
Bears
didn't know
knew
fit
they
my
would have him
system.
for a while.
I feel like Purdy fits Tennessee's system.
Hold on, I
don't feel like they run anything that's some sort of crazy system that Purdy would not be efficient in.
So your reason, your way of thinking is not wrong. I think the only thing that I would say is if the Tennessee felt like they needed a quarterback, I think that they would rather move up from 7 on up
Yes.
than rather than trading back to get Brock Purdy, a guy that they have to pay,
Yes. 'Cause
rather than getting a guy that's
you got to
young
keep in mind
that they could move
this
forward with.
regime inherited Will Levis, so he's technically not necessarily their guy.
Talking about the Jets. I feel like we were looking at this
that's-
Jets team,
the Jets
and we were
should
like,
be-
they're a quarterback
the Jets
away
should
from
be-
being
no,
able.
They
Huh.
should be
Let
squarely.
me
They
finish.
should be
You
squarely
can cut me
focused.
off.
They
The
should be squarely
Jets
focused.
were a quarterback away from being Super Bowl contenders.
No.
We've seen Brock Purdy with weapons.
No, they weren't.
Without
And now we know that. They were not a quarterback away.
That was what we had considered them, but yes.
But they weren't.
Their defense has taken steps back since they fired Robert Saleh. It has not looked the same. With that defense that they had in the beginning of the year, if they were scoring points, we wouldn't have been talking about this.
If you're the Jets, which ceiling is higher? Brock Purdy as your quarterback or Shador Sanders as your
No,
quarterback?
I'm with you. We don't know, but like I'm with you.
We don't.
We don't know, but
You
I'm
said
with you.
ceiling.
Ceiling.
We had to see it, but like I'm with
No,
you.
the
I would bank
ceiling
on
is-
Shador. I would bank
No,
on Shador.
It's not a. It's a fact. It is a fact. His ceiling.
The ceiling will
We're not saying who's going to be a better pro because yes, we don't know that answer. But potential. Yes, we know who has the most potential already.
I got you. Yes. I'm saying the price point, if you're looking at it from this standpoint, Carolina traded up 8 picks, got what?
a number one receiver. They gave away a number one receiver.
Yes.
And they gave
DJ
away-
Moore, 2 firsts.
Yep.
a second in 2025 the next year,
Yep.
and then pick 9 and 61 of that year.
Yeah. And you want to give me one quarterback to come up from 14 to 7. And that's what they gave away, or that's what they gave away to swap within the top 10.
Chicago traded the number 1 pick in 2023. Got back 9 that year, 61
which
that
is the
year.
swap.
So they swapped ones. Got 61. Got a first the next year.
That's a first next year.
So a third.
And this is to get to where?
No, that's a second.
No, 61.
The
61.
second 2 years after, so 2025, still haven't seen what that pick turned out to. And DJ Moore.
Yes.
To move up 8 spots.
To get to where?
Number 1.
One is a far more value than 7 or 8.
But I'm falling out of the top 10, and all you're giving me is one player.
If you're looking for a quarterback, there are only 2 first-round graded quarterbacks right now.
I feel like you would have to give up. You have to do a swap and another first.
It has to be more than just that. They gave up a second, a first next year, and a second the year after that.
Okay, so
Just to go up 9.
the Raiders and Giants are at 2 and 3. You would have to trade up to 1 to Jacksonville if they still. I mean, they already paid
You
Trevor.
said who's where?
Vegas is number 2.
Oh,
the
I
Giants
already
are number
had
3
I'm tripping.
right now. The
Yeah.
Jaguars hold the number 1 pick. They're
those
for a quarterback.
Giants and Raiders definitely need quarterbacks.
So
my goal is to try and get to 3 or 4.
No, but I'm saying if they
No, I know.
if
so
you
they
trade,
need quarterbacks, and that
3 and
means
4 is
you would,
Jacksonville and Patriots.
no. So I'm saying you would not get
what are you
Shador,
looking at?
and you would not get Cam Ward.
If we're basing it off the records right now, there are 3 2 and 10 teams: Jaguars, Raiders, and Giants. They have the top 3 picks right now.
His is based on projections of what they think the season will end at.
I have a 2 and 9 Giants who have the first pick. I have 2
so
and
yours
9.
is not updated yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
They already
okay.
done lost.
Giants are 2 and 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I see what you're talking about.
who's at 3 and who's at 4?
The Giants and the
Giants
Patriots.
are at 3 and Patriots are.
They would need to
Where's the Jags?
number
Number
one.
one.
They have to trade and get
Oh.
the
So
first.
you have
pick.
to trade the number 1 pick in
Yeah.
order to get
The
a.
Correct.
Jacksonville is going to do.
They should.
But the thing is,
Most
like,
likely.
but the thing is,
They should.
but
They
what?
absolutely
No.
should,
But I'm
absolutely,
saying,
but-
but what the price would be for the number 1 pick?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
I would.
So if
Which is why I need to get to 8.
Yeah. So what we're
I need to
saying,
get to
what we're
8.
saying is, if you have to get to 8, you would have to do more than just a pick swap
they
and
need more than
Purdy.
Travis.
So then once you do that and you get to 8,
So
now you have to have the assets to get to 1.
I'm doing a pick swap and Purdy.
Travis deserves better. And we'll get
I'm giving
better
maybe
if Deion has
maybe
anything
a,
to say
what?
about it.
Maybe a 4th and a 5th.
Nah.
4th and the 5th to
It's
what?
got to be a 2nd or a 3rd.
No, because I'm giving you Purdy, who's more than that. So no, I'm not.
Falling out of
I'm
that.
not doing that.
But DJ,
What?
okay. But think about DJ Moore.
Falling out. I'm falling out.
Yes.
Purdy is more valuable than DJ Moore, so I don't know what we're talking about.
He is?
Yes,
He is.
So the
just
Titans,
by the fact that he's of the position that he plays.
so the Titans,
How much impact
because
DJ Moore had this year?
because the thing is, knowing that you have to get Purdy, but you also have to pay Purdy. You have to make
It's
sure.
the same concept with DJ Moore. You're gonna get him. You're gonna pay him. You gotta pay him either way.
No, because the thing is that they knew that okay, DJ Moore is gonna probably be staying here, but Purdy, what if Purdy's like, yeah, you know what, I don't want to be with the Titans.
Well, you have to know. No, that stuff has to be. That's in talks. That's in the conversation when you're
That's what I'm
making the
saying.
trade talks. You
So
know
what if
That's be concerned if the trade happens.
Yeah, if
That's
the
what he's
trade
saying.
happens,
If the trade,
they
if the
already
trade-
That is definitely
understand.
going to be a concern.
No,
You're going to consider the fact that you're going to have to pay him.
I'm saying if the trade is accepted, then all of that stuff has already
Okay.
been handled. It's not a concern.
they're
by
not
time.
going to trade.
They're
for
not going to
him.
trade for him if they don't already know that he's going to want to stay.
No,
That's
for
what
sure,
I'm saying.
For sure.
So it's not a conversation.
Okay, but I'm just saying, what if he didn't want to go?
So
Well, then the trade is
here's the,
it's
so here's the thing. What's
And then does his value go down because you
but
have to pay him?
What's his number value right now? Like, what do you think he's worth? What do you think he's going to get paid?
Oh, contract wise.
Yes. Because Tennessee has to see that number. Because I'm already paying Will Levis on the cheap now.
He's going to be 40.
40 mil? I don't have to pay Will Levis 40 million for another
40 mil? You think Brock Purdy's
You think
getting
that
40
at the least?
mil?
That's what he getting?
What do you think? You think that's too little or too
Bro,
much? I don't know what you're talking about.
Too little.
You think it's too little? Nah. He's
And
40.
so if I'm Tennessee, this way.
That's why I want to
40,
trade him.
40,
Think
43.
No, you know
I don't-
40, 43.
You
But
know
think
it's
about it
at
from-
least got to be in the 50s because he's going to say I've been to a Super Bowl and an NFC
But think
champion.
about it. Think about this
I
from
mean,
this
it's not
aspect.
big, but
If you're the Titans,
That's his
hold on.
number.
If you're the Titans, think about it this way: you can either have 2 more years of being cheap with Will Levis, or you can get aggressive and get and try to get a Shador and have 4 more years of a cheap contract. You don't have to pay that guy. You don't have to worry about paying top-notch QB money for a number of years. You see what I'm saying?
No, I understand what
if
you're
it's
saying.
they may consider that.
I would say that, okay, with Brock Purdy, do you think that he should get paid on the same wavelength of Trevor Lawrence?
Oh boy, 55. Good Lord.
So that's what's tough because all those quarterbacks are overpaid. Tua to me is overpaid.
Jordan Love too.
Jordan Love, we'll see.
As of right now, yes.
As of right now, yes. But I'm more confident in Jordan Love than the other two.
We just started another conversation. Man,
We're not doing this today.
We're not doing this today.
We are not doing this today.
You're saying Jordan Love has already earned what he's getting paid?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
What he getting paid?
53? 55?
What has he done?
I thought it was 53.
He matched Trevor.
What has he done to earn
Okay,
it?
if it's 55,
What did he do to earn that?
that's it. In his only season as a starter, he went to the playoffs and won a playoff game. And now
that's
he's
55 mil.
Hold on, because he's your franchise. He's your franchise quarterback.
55 mil.
Trevor won a playoff game too.
And he's about to go to the playoffs again.
Trevor?
No.
Oh, but I'm saying like.
So that's what I'm saying though. It's like
That's
the thing is
55 mil.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's not 55 mil to me. I'm sorry.
Again,
If that's the case, Daniel Jones went to the playoffs and won a game.
He sure did.
And we all sat here and said, don't pay that man that money. He ain't worth that type of money.
That's because we saw the sample size of what
That was
Daniel Jones has been.
No, I knew
That
it
was
was
But you're basing your entire argument over the fact that Jordan Love won a playoff game.
And that
No,
doesn't matter
because
to
his whole season, when you look at the whole season,
half the season.
not
Half the season.
But go ahead.
Was
But you know what? Never mind. Because you think
Hold on.
think that he carried them. So
Hold on.
I understand.
Hold
Never
on.
mind.
What
Never
was-
mind.
Yes.
Never mind. He carried them. So
He did.
you think he's 55 mil?
yes.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's all adding up.
He didn't
He's
carry
not
them.
worth 55
There was
mil.
no carry. They was winning the games 27-22, 23-20.
And who was the leading factor of why they won those games?
I also know who's the leading
I
factor to
remember.
them getting off to a 500 start in the beginning of the year.
Okay, and he's still at the end of the day, you have to look at the whole sample size.
All right.
The whole sample
Moving
size
on.
is
He had a
Not 55 mil.
Moving on. I
He has
can't
a
do
chance
it.
to prove it, though.
let's
I'm
go.
more
Let's
confident
go.
in him than the other
he's
quarterbacks.
already
go.
proven it.
They
Right
got
now.
teams above expectations.
Y'all crazy.
Steelers.
man.
So top of number 2. Good Lord.
Steelers.
What's the Steelers ceiling?
Steelers.
Mm.
Hiding.
AFC
AFC
Championship.
Championship.
AFC Championship.
Wow.
There's only 2 teams in the AFC that has a Super Bowl ceiling.
Yeah.
Was Bills and Chiefs?
Is it?
Yeah.
AFC Championship.
Ooh. The Ravens still have the talent. I just need to see it.
I
I can see it.
I
I
would
still believe
agree.
in
I
that.
would agree with this. Only because I know people would look at the box score yesterday and say that they gave up 38, but that defense is legitimate. That defense can carry. To me, that defense is good enough to carry them to a Super Bowl. All Russ just has to be.
Super Bowl?
Yes, that defense is that good. That defense
I
is
guess
that good.
I gotta. My scale is off then.
I'm a believer in that.
I got divisional round.
That's an elite.
See, look, but he got
I think-
everybody
I
in
got
the division
divisional
around
round.
because he's just like Bills, Chiefs, and the Super Bowl automatically.
Necessarily. I feel like when you're looking at the Steelers,
No. Don't say necessarily because he's picking every team to be divisional as their
I
ceiling.
have the Bills Chiefs as AFC
we
champions.
said Ravens and
Don't say
Steelers
necessarily
to the title game, and he's like, really? Like who else is
Yes.
there? Who else
There's
is there?
nobody else. So he's saying
There's only
that
2
the
teams.
only 2 teams that can make the AFC Championship, which is the
Yes,
Chiefs and the Bills.
That's where I'm at with that. And I got the others getting knocked out.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I have. So this is what I have. I have the Steelers at this point. The way my mind is working, I have the Steelers and Ravens winning in their first round, unless they face each other. Then
Yeah, they
then
could.
it's
They
gonna-
could
It's very well.
yeah, because as a 3 and a 6.
Yeah, it could very well happen but if that doesn't happen and they face individual opponents, I am choosing them to win and then go to the divisional round and then face said Chiefs and said Bills and then lose.
And then lose.
That's how I have it pictured in my mind bracket wise.
I cannot wait till Chiefs Steelers because I honestly believe the Steelers can beat them more than once. I think the Steelers can beat them in the regular season, and I think if they see them again, Mike Tomlin and that defense will be even better. I think the Steelers team can really can make a Super Bowl run.
Mikhail, who is a Steelers fan, says
No, she's a Commanders fan.
No. You're talking about a completely different person.
Oh, okay.
This is a he.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's a Steelers fan.
Oh, I'm thinking of Ramos.
And
Yeah.
he used to be an intern at the job we work at. But yeah, he believes, as a Steelers fan, divisional round as well. Like he doesn't have it going any further.
Which I could see them beating the Chiefs or beating y'all.
I need to see them.
No, I'm saying, like, if they were to beat the Chiefs, if they were to beat the Chiefs in the regular season, why couldn't we believe they could beat the Chiefs or the Bills in the playoffs?
I trust Tomlin, and I trust in terms of where they show their strengths. I guess in terms of being able to cause pressure to quarterbacks. When you have the AFC, you need somebody who can get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
You need a scheme that can keep Lamar in the pocket, that can limit your options. You have players at every level that are making differences. Patrick Queen is finally starting to look like the reason why you signed him.
The only thing I need from that defense right now is for Minka to be Minka. But Minka hasn't been Minka in a while.
And Najee's been active.
He hasn't have a pick in 2 years.
So we haven't seen Najee do nothing his whole career.
My whole
3
thing
yards carry,
with the Steelers
3.5 yards carry
is simply I don't believe in the offense as
that would be
right now. So where I'm like, could you go tick for tack with Buffalo because
you don't have to.
Nah, the way they've been scoring, they've been putting up points.
What? No, because if they
Josh
make
Allen
it
been cooling in the fourth quarter.
If we're talking about this defense, if they make it a defensive game, you don't have to go tick for tack.
What type of defense are the Chiefs?
What type of
are they not a top 5 defense?
No.
Yeah, they top 5 defense.
Top 5 defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and Buffalo put up 30. So I sit here.
You make it seem like y'all put up 30 on every single great defense because you guys don't.
Tampa put up 30 on them in overtime. Tampa put up points on them.
On who? The Chiefs?
Yeah.
So, yes, I understand, but I'm saying they're top 5 defense.
Yes, recency, yes, but I'm talking about a whole sample size. They are a top 5 defense.
Yes, they are a top 5 defense. And I'm saying that the Bills can still put up 30 on a top 5 defense. So yes, you still may have to go tit for tat with them on the offensive side.
Cool. If you want to say yes, then sure. Okay, but we can also say that if the Steelers are playing their best defense, that means it will not be a tit for tat type of game.
If the Steelers are playing their best defense and Josh Allen's playing his best offense,
Josh
it's still a tit for tat.
I don't know.
The thing is, especially Josh's thing has always been the turnovers. That was what we always harped on him on, but he hasn't been doing that for real this year.
No, it's not. But it's not about just the turnovers. It's if the defense is holding you, the defense is holding you. Like
I don't think when it comes to the elite quarterbacks, I do not. I think if they are on, I don't give a damn what defense you got out there. They're gonna cut it up. That's how I feel. If an elite quarterback is on, like he's
okay, but the defense is the reason why you're not on.
Josh Allen do last time.
Like a defense could be the reason why you're not
feeling it. When you just feeling it, every throw coming off your hand, it's just going where you want it to go. It's just you just having one of them days.
I mean,
I don't think a quarterback.
Wasn't Mahomes and the Chiefs held to like 16 points in the Super Bowl last year against the top 5 defense?
You're talking about?
They were not really firing on all. Like they went up against the top 5 defense, and they had.
Did you think Mahomes was on fire? Did you think he was hot?
But
no. Hold on. Mahomes being hot versus is different.
It's different.
That's
when you
that's
do that
what I'm asking
doing
you.
that this
like I don't think anybody can stop Mahomes when hot. Like when Mahomes is in his.
But that's why you don't let him get hot. That's what a defense is for.
And this defense,
if you don't let him get hot, that's what a defense is for. That's what
capable
we're saying.
of him not getting hot.
Yes.
This defense can. Okay.
So
I feel like when you just come out the gate, you just know when you have athletes know when it's just your day. Like you just.
I'm just thinking.
So we're just saying that the defense can't get you out of them days at all.
The Bills knocked the Steelers out of the playoffs last year.
No,
Josh had that long one right up the left side. Right.
How many times have you seen?
Bro, that Steelers offense was nowhere near compared to this.
No. But
they had Mason Rudolph. They had Mason Rudolph.
How many?
The defense was the same minus Patrick Queen.
But it was Mason Rudolph.
All right. How many
times
have we sat here and said the defense was the perfect play? They had the perfect play called, but that quarterback just did what only that quarterback. Like when they're in their bag, that's what I'm saying.
How many times have you seen Mahomes be hot this year?
No, Mahomes ain't been hot this year.
No, but he's talking about Josh Allen.
I'm saying,
but I'm going back to the point where he's making like every quarterback can get hot at and just kill every defense. And I'm like, but this year, this Mahomes we've seen this year has not been getting hot.
I mean, you can say that, but
he's
he's talking about the
struggling.
Bills and Josh. We're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
if
how
you-
they match up with
No,
Josh.
yes, but no. What he's saying is because I made a blanket statement that if an elite quarterback is hot, I don't give a damn what defense is out there, they're gonna get cooked.
You do like attacking blanket statement.
And I made that blanket statement, and I stand on that blanket statement. Mahomes has not gotten hot. He hasn't. We haven't seen a game where we feel like Mahomes is in his bag.
I'm just
So,
saying a
that's
defense's
fine.
job is to not let that quarterback get hot. So if
What
they,
did I just say?
so
What
if they
happens when they defy the X's and O's on the perfect play?
Okay,
Right? And that's what we're saying.
So when the Bucks stopped Mahomes in the Super Bowl, was it not? Did they not just not let him get hot?
When they stopped it, no, he wasn't. To me,
He wasn't what?
I don't think that Mahomes was in his A bag on a bum ankle.
Against the Bucks?
Yes, that's what he's talking about.
And he had no line. He was running.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the defense made that happen.
No,
Right?
the offense being hurt made that happen. That
Oh, Jesus.
when you're missing 40 to
Oh,
60% of your
Anyways,
starting line.
I'm sorry. I even made this blanket statement.
I don't.
But to me,
I forgive you.
I'm sorry. I
guess
don't.
like defenses just can't do
And he
Like,
was
they-
slick
they
still in
just
his
can't do
bag.
anything.
Tyreek dropped the
They don't
touchdown.
even, there's no need to even take the field if that quarterback's hot. Why? Why?
One of them.
It feels like that sometimes.
I'm psyched.
So when the Eagles beat Brady in the Super Bowl, Brady was hot that year. Was he
And
not?
they put up 35.
It
Who
was
won the game? Who made?
Eagles?
No. Hold on.
No, but I'm
No.
trying to answer.
No.
That went tit for
Tit
tat.
for tat.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. What? No.
You're saying a hot quarterback
No,
can't be
no,
stopped at all.
Oh, you're saying you're saying that he was saying that a defense will stop that quarterback. What you just brought up was there was no defense stopping nobody.
No defense.
He's went
It's
back
tit
and
for
forth.
tat.
No,
It's
That's what
fine.
he said.
This is the Giants' defense is stopping Brady. That's what you want to say.
Oh,
A
that too.
defense stopped the hot quarterback.
Was
That
Giants
is what
that?
happened.
Yes.
That's a
good
one
example.
example.
Two examples. It happened twice.
The Bucks.
Both Giants defenses stopped the hot Brady. I think he won MVP both times.
08 and 2012.
No, 07 and 11.
It was the 08 Super Bowls. The 07
Because-
season. 08 was the
Seven
Super
We're
Bowl.
talking about the same.
Yeah.
You are talking about the same.
So I'm saying, I'm like,
And
I'm
11
like,
into 12.
so Brady was hot, and they still stopped that.
So he ran into a defense.
So I'm saying is a defense can
They're capable.
do that.
They're capable.
It does happen.
It can happen.
So I'm not like
and this is.
I
this
get
is
what
a-
you're saying,
this
and
is a
most times that's the case.
I'm going to say no because, first of all, defenses are more handicapped now. So I'm still going to say no.
It is different defenses.
I'm still going to say no.
Now we
a
just
TJ Watt led.
I
defense
said
is- wow.
defense can't do anything there. They just
Against when they are in that bag. That's all I said. In that bag. And I don't think there's nothing that can stop them from being in that bag. I feel like it's just that day for them. Just like when we're
so, like,
talking
no matter
basketball.
what pressure they give,
What
no
type
matter
of
how many times they get sacked.
what type of defense did Peyton Manning see when he was in his bag in his first year in Denver?
Oh yeah,
Or the
that's
second
Seattle
year,
defense. That's,
yeah.
No,
That
that's
Legion of Boom?
Yeah, that's
That wasn't.
yeah. They
He
definitely
wasn't in his
stopped that.
bag.
Does Seattle and the Steelers defense compare?
Mhm.
No.
I'm gonna.
No, they don't.
Oh my God.
They don't.
Okay, Eric.
You're comparing them to
okay,
historic
Eric.
deep. We're looking at this Steelers defense. You're saying if
That
any
Giants
defense,
was not a historical defense.
you got Hall of Famers on the defense.
You don't have Hall of Famers on the Steelers?
You got TJ.
That's it. Cam and all.
Who's
Yeah,
Cam
Cam
Hayward?
Hayward.
He might be.
Don't
Look,
do that. Come on,
look,
man. What are we talking
look.
about?
Thought about it.
What are we talking
I haven't
about?
thought about it.
Like I said, I feel like the defenses are
You
not
think
able
Queen
to
could be
play
a
the
feature
same.
Hall of Fame?
You ready to come up again?
Oh, my bad. I was talking to
Got another
him. So
example.
my bad.
Got another example.
No. Go
Remember
ahead.
Cam
You
Newton went
6.5.
15-1 in MVP? What defense he ran up against in the Super Bowl?
Oh shit. There was the story too.
Oh, so we gotta come up with examples of non-historic defenses.
I mean,
That's the only way we can prove a point.
it's tough to make that comp when you're looking at someone.
But this
who
is
literally-
not a run-of-the-mill Steelers defense.
It is a good defense.
Josh Allen just had a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown in the same game.
Oh,
Like
thank-
he's doing weird things.
Bro, I honestly think we could have scored on that defense last night, bro. The Niners were not there, and you know it.
You said we.
Yes, we.
We was in the computers.
Yes, no, we like us.
Stop.
One of us would have scored.
I'm not scoring on Fred
Stop
Warner.
it.
I don't want that
Fred
smoke.
didn't even.
Yeah, Fred did get hurt.
Again, you can put it in the backup. I still don't want to smoke. I'm good. I'm good.
All
It's
right,
cold.
go
I'd rather
ahead,
be
go
sitting
ahead.
right here where I'm at.
I feel like I said defenses aren't able to do the same things that they were able to do, which favors more offenses. And I feel like these quarterbacks being as multifaceted as they are plays into it as well. Because I mean, as multifaceted as you want to say Cam was, I never feared Cam with his arm.
Bro, he was arguably
With his arm.
the best player in the league.
What I just said.
It's
With his arm. I don't feel Lamar right now with his arm.
because you just
And
did
Cam-
Right? So what are we talking about?
In Cam's defense, Cam was throwing to what? Ted Ginn and Kelvin Benjamin.
Still won MVP.
So
35
Cam deserves more credit because he also had like there's literally a whole reel of Ted Ginn dropping wide open flies that Cam put right on the money, and people want to blame Cam's his throwing percentage. He's only passing for this and that when receivers was dropping the ball and not getting open, right? But I think
Not true. No. Okay. All right. So we squashed that then.
Please.
Okay. All right.
Lord of mercy. Broncos and Vikings. Like, let's talk about them. I don't believe in the Vikings at all. I think they're going to be wild card, first round knockout. That's where I'm at with the Vikings.
Sam's looking more in control, more
Actually,
confident.
you know what? I spoke out of turn.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
let
bro.
me see the NFC playoff picture.
But no. Right now, they're facing the winner of the NFC South. We deserve.
They're advancing.
They're beating us.
Yes, they are.
So let's just
Absolutely are.
let's not even go into.
If we make it.
Just say divisional.
If
Because
we
right
make
now
it.
that wild card is.
If we make it.
Yeah. So
who else? I need to
it'll
see
be
the
the
whole
Bucks.
picture.
It'll be the Bucks.
I do want to.
No. Like, who are all the?
Bro, they're
It's
either going
Vikings,
to play,
Packers,
because they
Commanders.
are the wild card
Yes,
team, so they have to
yes.
be facing one of the four.
which is
Okay,
they're
one of
the
the three.
5 seed, so they're going to face the 4, which is the NFC South.
I've said
So
this.
Bucks or Falcons. That's who they'll be playing.
Bro.
They do. The Packers and Vikings do play each other.
Yes,
Once.
they have a 2-game lead on them right now.
They do.
Okay.
So
I think this season
and they still got to play the Lions.
this
again,
is
but
They
this
sure
is a
do.
clear testament to Kevin O'Connell and his coaching ability. The fact that he can be able to get this type of season out of Sam Darnold. And this is not the first time he's done this, where he's won games with just anybody. We all remember last year.
Yeah,
You had Josh
Josh
Dobbs.
Dobbs did it with Nick Mullins.
Did
had
it
Nick
with
Mullins
Nick
win.
Mullins.
Very Tomlin-esque.
I mean, like it's
Well,
just
without the straight winning seasons.
yeah,
Bro, yes.
Yeah.
But it's very Tomlin-esque. Very, what's his name?
Like what? Kyle
Sean
Shanahan?
Payton-esque.
Whoa.
With the Saints. When he had Taysom Hill and they were still trying to
They
find
still
ways
winning
to win. Yeah,
They
like,
still had Drew Brees.
no. What I'm saying, when Drew Brees went out and then they had Taysom Hill out back there in quarterback,
Yeah,
and
but
they
they
were still trying
wasn't
to win
winning.
games.
Hello,
They were winning some games.
They won some
Which
games.
is the
but
same
they-
thing as last year with the Vikings. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Now I don't
Because Taysom
don't
Hill's
think-
not. I'm not going to disrespect Sam Darnold and say Taysom Hill plays as good as Sam Darnold. I'm not
They're
going to.
still
No.
Not the quarterback position. That's
the
weapon.
odd-
That boy
the
Taysom
odds- the
do
odds
whatever you
are-
need him to do.
the odds are a little slim, but let's just
Pray for your
hypothetically
coverage.
hypothetically say the Vikings actually get the number 1 seed. It's a little slim. They need
need
Detroit
some things to
lose. Is Kevin O'Connell coach of the year?
If they get the 1
We'll
seed,
see now.
Yeah.
Here we have the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
We're having it. I didn't want to bring this up.
And that
And-
means over your guy too. Raggedy.
I think we're
His guy is out.
If we- I think we would have needed if we beat the Steelers. I think that was the game that we dropped off for real. Because if he beat the Steelers, right, and we lost to the Eagles and we lost to the Cowboys, it's much easier to chalk things up to division and losing those games rather than blowing a fourth quarter lead.
This is.
But the Steelers are
It's a
actually
good team.
I have three
But again, good teams. beat good
coaches
teams.
of the year.
Y'all have
nominations
beaten good teams.
for me.
Okay.
I have Vikings.
The best team we beat is who?
I got Steelers, and I have Bills. I think those are my 3 coaches of the year nominees.
You said Steelers.
Vikings, Bills.
I'll take Steelers out.
I'm putting all 3
Vikings,
Dan
because
Campbell
I'm
not gonna
going
be
a
based
Bills?
off of.
Yeah, honestly, take the Bills out.
No.
too,
I'm not
probably.
putting McDermott up.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not.
Why not?
I'm not.
Nah, yeah.
Why?
Season y'all was talking about the lack of talent that
Right.
they had. Josh
So
Allen's
this
not
is what I'm
going.
saying.
He
So
gonna have
now
to
we
rush.
forgot.
But I still picked them to make the playoffs.
No.
I'm just
But again,
I picked them to win the division. They're not doing anything that I didn't already.
do we not pick the Steelers to make the playoffs?
Listen.
No, most of us did.
Hold on.
I did.
Listen.
You were the
Y'all
only
did.
one.
Listen.
Oh, y'all stupid.
Listen, I don't.
I didn't.
We can sit
Y'all are
here
silly
and say,
doodles.
you know what? The four of us sitting here, this is why y'all need to listen to us. We smarter than everybody else because the public, the general consensus was the Bills were going to be taking 2 steps back because the Jets and Steelers were going to be ahead of them. Sorry, the Jets and Dolphins were going to be ahead of them. That was the general public's opinion.
And no, it was.
It was.
I agreed. I agreed with the Dolphins, but I already knew.
Well,
I didn't have.
But the general public did believe in the Jets because they were a quarterback away.
Yeah,
So they had the Jets and Dolphins ahead of the Bills because they lost Diggs, they lost Davis, they lost Hoyer and Hyde and Tre'Davious, and the list went on.
Yeah.
So you're not going to then come back to me and be like, "Hey, the Bills are 10-2," and then be like, well. No, like nobody thought they would be here, so you have to give him that type of respect.
I thought,
and it's the same storyline to me.
I thought they may be like 8-4 by this point, but that's only a couple games off. I mean, it's not like
10-2.
They may not even lose 4 games.
That's a big difference. The Commanders are 8-5.
10-2,
8-5.
But to me, I feel like the same. I feel like
a huge jump.
I feel like it's the same storyline with the Steelers, where people left them they didn't leave the Bills for dead like they left the Steelers for dead.
I did,
but a lot of people did. General consensus did not have the Steelers competing
I left the Steelers
this year,
I did.
and they are out here now winning the division.
I didn't have them.
They are out here winning the division.
Oh no,
right now.
I didn't have them winning the division. I had them at 9-8, not making the playoffs. My whole thing is when it comes to coach of the year,
Vikings for everything that you said as well for the Vikings.
Yeah,
I feel like those are my 3 nominees. I'm not putting Dan Campbell in there with his loaded roster with the expectations of doing exactly what they did.
What?
This is being so great though.
I
feel like the way
you're gonna put Dan Campbell in
the way that they're winning football.
No. Oh, wait. My bad. Dan Quinn.
Okay, bro, I was about to say what?
No, Dan Quinn. I'm putting Dan Quinn in there.
I was like Dan Campbell.
All I heard was Dan. I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh wait. You said Dan
Campbell.
Campbell
should be in the conversation.
No,
with a loaded roster.
No, because
with the expectations already there.
No, we expect them to win games like.
We expect them to win the division. Yeah, them getting the one.
To be in the 1 seed.
Yes, but
I thought it was between them and the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm not saying I had high expectations.
They were the top 2 teams in the NFC.
No,
the Lions and
Eagles.
Eagles.
The Niners in that conversation when we
not
came
you knew how.
No.
Well,
when we came into the season,
we're talking general public, right?
I had the Eagles Lions.
General public, I don't remember. For the Lions, I don't know if it was the Lions and 49ers who were the best team.
Yeah,
I think the Lions were always one of the either 1 or 2 in the NFC.
Most people had Lions.
Going into last
most people had
struggled with the Niners.
I don't know if it was 49ers or Eagles.
I'll
probably say 49ers. So Lions and 49ers were the top 2 teams coming into this year.
Yes, in the NFC.
In the NFC.
Yes.
So I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, Campbell, you did what you were supposed to do with this roster.
Yeah.
And you're going to get this coach of the year.
No.
That's like giving it to Andy Reid.
So if the Lions go 16-1,
yeah, he's still not coach of the year.
Still not coach of the year?
Is it still a loaded roster without Aiden Hutchinson?
Yes.
Without can you name me any other
defensive players?
Yeah, any other difference makers?
Brian Branch.
Okay, he's solid.
And what was that? Kelvin Joseph.
He and Teron Johnson on the same level.
Kelvin Joseph. That is all for him.
There's a whole list of people.
But Kelvin Joseph is another guy that he's one of the leaders in interceptions.
But it's literally you lost a guy like Aiden Hutchinson.
You did,
and you haven't.
And they also didn't they bring in Smith, Zadarius Smith?
Bro, wasn't he like in and out of the lineup the other day? Like
what's crazy is they lost.
They had like 2 games.
What's crazy is they lost.
He got traded there.
They lost.
No, because I'm saying he's actually made some sort of impact while he's playing there.
Yes.
But they lost Aiden, and somehow they actually got better.
Right.
Yeah, because they changed it to where like
they're getting more
Aiden,
pressure.
They lost Marcus Davenport, lost James Houston, John Kaminsky, lost Alex Anzalone a couple games ago.
Oh, they did lose Anzalone. Yeah. That was a huge loss too.
They've had a lot of losses on defense.
He did.
They did.
Yeah,
Offensively,
other than Jameson Williams.
That's just
he got suspended for 2 games.
No.
That's it.
No, I think he also missed. Are you sure he didn't miss it?
He was about to have his first season playing a whole season, and he got suspended.
No, I'm saying
he got suspended.
I
No,
thought he
but I'm
was
saying
suspended coming into the year.
No, he got suspended
no, he got suspended
mid-season.
mid-season.
He
But
So annoying.
I'm telling you, I thought
He's been healthy.
I thought he missed some
Nah,
games.
he's
He
been
didn't.
Honestly, you couldn't even really tell because the offense still looks great
Yeah,
with
man.
because the
without-
run game,
Yeah.
is rolling,
He
and that's
missed 2 games from suspension.
and they
That's
have
it.
the best offensive line in the league in my opinion.
So for coach of the year, I would have put Dan Campbell. If you still want to put Dan Quinn in there,
Sure. Nobody thought the Commanders was gonna be in the playoffs. Why would I not have him in there?
Okay.
So him,
they may not be in the playoffs when all said
no,
and
no,
done.
they're gonna be in the playoffs.
Until he lets
The
you down.
NFC, when you look at
Until he lets
the
you
way it is right now,
'Cause that's what he
they
does.
have a
That's what
2-game
Dan
lead
Quinn
over
does.
everybody
Don't
else.
put your traumas
And
on.
most of the
No.
other teams that are
It's gonna
vying
happen.
for spots are in the NFC
Don't put your
West.
It's going to happen. Till he lets you down. And they're right, Dan Quinn.
All right, who else?
Still
Who
couldn't
in the
call a timeout
AFC?
in the second
What I
round.
just told you, I only think the Bills and I think McDermott and Tomlin are the only two
Well, you know I
nominees.
don't have them in there, but
because they
that are in the conversation. Like we're not saying that are in the conversation.
Yeah.
I think Jim Harbaugh should be in the conversation too. If the
yeah,
Cardinals make the playoffs.
yeah. Harbaugh,
That's a good one.
Peyton, Dan Quinn,
Jonathan Gannon
and
for the Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
If they make the playoffs,
If they make the playoffs,
no, if they make the playoffs,
If they win
he's in the
it,
conversation.
that's a
what I'm
conversation,
saying.
but he shouldn't win it. If they make the
Well,
playoffs, and what?
I'm
If
not
they win the
saying
division at 9
I'm
and 8,
not saying Harbaugh's going to win it, but I'm saying like
yeah,
they
because they were
you my
picked to
nominees.
they
finish
should get some
last.
votes.
Who
They
are
were
your
picked to
nominees?
finish last, so I would give that.
I told you my 4 nominees. I'm sticking with my 4 nominees.
I would say I honestly would have Campbell in there.
So you have Campbell, you have Tomlin, or did you not have
I
Tomlin?
don't
Sorry.
have Tomlin.
No, Campbell, Vikings head coach.
I don't have Tomlin. So Campbell, Kevin O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
If the Cardinals do make the playoffs, I'm throwing Jonathan Gannon in that conversation.
Okay.
Same with the Chargers.
You
I'm
have a
throwing
fourth
Jim
one?
Harbaugh in that conversation.
So those are your 4 nominees.
That would be my 4.
Who are your 4 nominees?
O'Connell,
Uh-huh.
Dan Quinn,
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton, and
So that means you would have Broncos in over Chargers.
well, no, I think they can both get.
They're both going to get in. It's going to be
And
Ravens, Broncos, Chargers.
Yeah, and honestly,
So you got to have both in the conversation.
Yeah, I'd have both in the
Okay,
conversation
all right.
with Harbaugh and Payton.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 4.
I forgot about all of these teams that have overachieved. Like the Broncos and the Chargers had the talent pool, and why are you getting rid of all of Herbert's weapons? So yeah, I would knock Dan Campbell out of my list.
Why are you saying Harbaugh?
Because they're 8-5 and they're in the playoffs,
It's
and
gonna be
I did not have the Chargers like making.
So you're saying it because you didn't have them in the playoffs?
Yeah, for sure.
But we're also saying those names because they have to make the playoffs in order for them.
Yeah,
to
because
succeed.
expectations were, dang, they're gonna be one of the worst in their division or in the AFC.
Not for me.
For
One of
me,
us-
I'm about to say for
One
me.
of us was high on the
For
Chargers.
me, so I was not high on either of them, and they ended up.
And you said that Josh Allen's numbers were going to dip. You weren't high on Josh Allen.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I want to know because he said Sean McDermott
no.
can't be in the conversation,
I
see the same similarities as Jim Harbaugh,
Wait,
where all
wait,
of
wait,
his
wait,
weapons were taken
Hold
away.
on.
Right? And
Hold
I'm sitting
Hold
there,
on.
but he said the difference is that he had the Bills still making the playoffs. He didn't have the Chargers. So I said, okay. So I said, I left it alone.
And
That's why I
plus,
said, okay.
I had Josh going for 20 for 20, so technically he still would have had 40 touchdowns.
You still on this 20 for 20 thing?
I'm just saying.
You know it's not happening now, right?
No, it's not happening.
Okay.
Still, that's what I thought. Okay.
He still have
All
30
right, and so
10.
you're 4.
I would say Kevin O'Connell. I
Okay.
would say Sean McDermott. I would say Tomlin. I feel like we still
I'm gonna
he
give it
do
to
for one.
Tomlin.
He do for one.
Tomlin is out
but
here
he's
making
won Coach of the Year multiple times already. Like I'm not. Like
I'm not gonna
I
do
know
this.
he's a great coach.
He is.
Like I'm.
So
At some point, you just gotta not.
You
not
got
win
Tomlin fatigue over here.
them. Yeah,
That's what he
honestly.
basically.
I mean, it's just like it's
Like we know who it is. Like we know.
how is this any different from any other year when they actually have both sides, both components working? Like when they do, they're always in the conversation for Super Bowl. So I'm like, it's really not much of a.
I feel like you're not winning Coach of the Year if you're not winning the division. So I'm taking the Chargers and the Broncos out of that, taking the Commanders out for that.
So you're going
reason as
division
well.
leaders only.
Then yeah, I would probably.
And what? So you giving it Raheem?
That's a good question.
I would.
Please. The hell?
He said division winners. I'm like, what? Is he in the
Yeah,
conversation?
I feel like that that will
he
be a
can't win-
determining.
He ain't winning Coach of the Year in the state of Georgia. No.
Oh God.
Cardinals won the division. I do like Gannon. That's a good
What
one.
about McDonald? The Seahawks won the division. First year head coach, and they won the NFC West.
I don't really like the NFC West has just been underwhelming for me as a whole.
But if they win 10 games, then you could. It'd be 10-7.
I wouldn't pick them over the other three, but yes, he would have
I was
a
just
mild
asking.
case.
So,
He has a mild
to
case.
your
You're not
point-
wrong. He
to
has a
your
mild
point-
case. I think those, and maybe, I think those would be my three.
To
for
your
real.
point, 2004 was the last time a coach won Coach of the Year without winning a division.
All right, so now I have to
was
change my
Marty
thought
Schottenheimer.
process. Now I got to change my thought process. Then, if that's the case, my nominees have to change crazy. 'Cause now I have 8 options.
Yeah.
Right?
Damn.
You have 8 options, right? 4
Okay.
or 4. So now I have to be realistic on who those would be.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Oh, right. Okay, so Andy Reid is out. All right. AFC North, I said
Who
Tomlin.
would even consider him?
AFC East, I said AFC South.
The Texans.
I mean, D'Amico Ryans, they ain't win nothing.
No.
He won.
Okay, so now I got to go to the NFC. NFC North is
Kevin O'Connell or Dan
No,
Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
Also, the Vikings.
Okay.
So the Vikings.
If the Vikings were to win it, but they're not going to.
Okay.
I mean, if you think so, I don't think they're going to
I
beat
feel
the
like
Lions.
they would be the exception though, because if they have a 13-4 season, they would be the exception because it's like, oh well, the
Now
other
they're
team
14-3 and they're 13-4
Yeah.
with Sam.
That would be the exception. Yeah, they would be the exception.
NFC West,
Forgot about that.
we
Mike
said
McDonald,
NFC South, Morris,
Raheem,
or
Please.
who?
That's not Bowles.
or Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles,
Oh,
right
okay.
for the Bucks, yeah.
Can't
NFC
either.
East
It'd be
is
Sirianni.
Sirianni.
Yeah, you know what? This looks like Mike McDonald about to win this one.
I would say so. Now my 3 nominees are McDonald, Tomlin, and McDermott. Those are my 3 nominees. If that's what I have to work with,
Mike McDonald winning.
then that's where
Well, why
I'm at.
not? Because did you have the Seahawks in the playoffs?
No.
And if they make the playoffs at 10-7, you'd be like,
No.
no.
That's not. It wouldn't be enough for me. I feel like because.
Sorry, I said McDonald. I meant O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell.
Okay.
O'Connell, Tomlin.
He's talking about the.
Yes, I know. O'Connell, Tomlin, and McDermott. Those are my 3 nominees.
I feel like because if we would have looked at it from the beginning of the season, they had to go through the 49ers and maybe the Rams to get to where they at. The 49ers been beat up all year.
What about
And
the Rams?
Rams also been beat up with their wide
Well,
receivers.
the Seahawks were also beat up. Remember, their defense was decimated.
So I'm saying in terms of the allure in the story, it doesn't hit the same. It's a little underwhelming.
It's because they were the best of the decimated teams.
Yeah.
It's just like
Basically.
how people want to.
Somebody got to win, right?
So I mean,
If they go 10-7, you're like, oh, okay. I mean, I had the Seahawks
Same.
making the playoffs, so
okay.
I had higher expectations for the Seahawks.
When you're comparing it to the other stories in the NFL, like Kevin O'Connell taking Sam Darnold, who we've boo-booed on for years.
Be number one, but if it's just division winners, you gotta take Mike McDonald.
It's tough.
Yeah.
When you're not
With that
in the
being
game.
said, we've gone long over. There's so
Absolutely.
much more that we still want to
Yeah.
talk about, but we'll save that for next time. Thank you all for joining. Please like, subscribe, rate, review, share on our
Please.
socials. Till next time, I am Cordell.
Marcus.
Eat, Rob.
Deuce.
Be easy, be breezy, and please take it easy.
Oh, that parlay hit.